So I want us to speak to the court process because it's also important. And you have been in court time and again to either defend yourself, sometimes to even seek some sort of reparation. So there's a court process ongoing now, the Federal High Court. And the point here is there's a court process ongoing, and he's going to also have his side heard from the 23rd until the 30th. So why not allow the court process take its course? As I said earlier on, you've also been in court. In fact, you've commended some of the court orders that favored you, some of them regarding this process. So why not allow that court process go through?
There was there was a court process that started in 2021 after Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya. The court process started from the Federal High Court as well. It went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal determined, are you listening to me, that Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any offense, discharged and acquitted him in 2022. This is public knowledge. How come nobody respects that court order? Was he ever released for one day, even after the Court of Appeal took that decision? Never. The Supreme Court, this case went to the Supreme Court, determined that he did not violate his bail condition. Was his bail ever reinstated because of that? Never. So you cannot tell me about court process because I know that these court processes have been violated repeatedly by the Nigerian government. You cannot be holding somebody, take him to court, stand in front of the courtroom, determine who the judge is, determine who is in the gallery, determine even sometimes who the lawyers are who are allowed to enter the premises of the court, even to do their own job, and you tell me that's fair and just trial? No. Everybody knows this is a sham. And that's what we are reiterating. And people who know better, people like Femi Falana and others, have said this doesn't belong in the courtroom because these are just theatrics meant to prolong the punishment of an individual whose only crime is asking for self-determination. The only crime Nnamdi Kanu committed is none of those things you have heard or spoken about. Is that he said, let my people go. Because Nigeria no longer favors us. It doesn't protect our dignity. It doesn't see us as human beings. We've lost 6 million people to this Nigerian project, and we don't want to continue. That's his crime. Let us all admit that's a crime. It is the same way Mandela was accused of treason. But his crime was that he wanted to end apartheid. So the problem with us is that we are still debating the fact that we have apartheid in this country, that some people are treated differently from others. And then we start cherry picking, oh, he committed a crime, he stepped on somebody's toes. You know, what crime did Ken Saro-Wiwa commit in this country? Was it not because he was asking for environmental protection? Didn't they kill him? What crime did Abiola commit in this country? Was it not that he won an election that didn't want him to become president? Didn't they kill him? Was it not the same arguments that were given during their time? Oh, Abiola's case is in court. Let it go through the court. But we knew it was not supposed to have been taken to court. And
right.
You know, so in this country, we seem to forget history. And that's why we keep making these mistakes over and over again.
But Mr.
We cannot be honest enough to say to ourselves, look, this is unjust, this is unfair, and then we start just debating the frivolities around a case that we know is not going anywhere.
Well,
it's important at the Federal High Court.
Right.
What you see there is persecution.
Well, it's important to understand the right.
So, Mr. Sowore, some group, has spoken up and has condemned this protest that you're leading and wondering why you're not allowing the process, of justice to take its course. They say that, and they're an Igbo group, by the way, in the diaspora, and they say that you're using this to seek political relevance, as you have done with other protests, that Nnamdi Kanu must stand for his crimes. What do you say to this?
Anybody's at liberty to say what they want to say. I mentioned earlier to you that Nelson Mandela was in prison for how many years? 27 years. At the point, he was regarded as a terrorist. In fact, it wasn't until he became a president that the U.S. lifted his terrorism tag and gave him a visa. So everybody who wants to say what they want to say can say what they want to say. This is not, if I'm looking for political relevance, I will not be risking my life. I've been shot at this morning already. So that's, but people say all kinds of things. And the people you call Igbo group, there may not be any group at all. You know, the federal government has all kinds of groups that they put in place to do propaganda for them. They go and ask them to wear attires of ethnic groups to make it look as if they are speaking for them. But even if they are Igbo groups, I have no problem with this. It's you know, their liberty to freely express themselves. My position is that this sham trial, must end now, you know, so that we can start to, this country can start to, you know, do what I call national healing, and, you know, and stop the persecution of people of the Southeast. The war has ended in 1970. We should discontinue the war. And that is my position. We cannot be lying to ourselves that Nnamdi Kanu is being tried when he's not facing any trial. They're just persecuting him. And they're using the courts, and this is shameful, they're using the court to create a veneer of trial that we know is not happening. They've made up their mind, told me personally, that they want the judge to jail him first, and then they can consider amnesty or a pardon or whatever, your clemency. That is what they're trying to do. They've done it. This is not the first time Nigeria has happened to innocent people. It happens to me almost on a daily basis. So it happened to Obafemi Awolowo. He was jailed for treason. They determined that they would jail him. They jailed him. But in history, everybody know that he was innocent. So I'm very sure that in a few days or hours, we will find out that this is a disgraceful chapter of our country's history. It's just sad that we don't have people who are honest enough, who are willing and, principled enough to take principled positions in the majority. That's the problem we have.
Mr. Omoyele Sowore, we have to thank you for your time. We understand that you're in a safe space now, but you've said you're going out again today to continue the protest.
Yeah.
And you've also told us
the solution is to release Nnamdi Kanu, not to shoot at me. It won't stop the agitation.
Right. Are you sure who shot? Was it the police, the army, NSCDC?
It was the people that started shooting were policemen. I saw them. I was chatting them to not provoke us, and then they opened fire. Yeah.
All right. Did they shoot in the air?
We've seen soldiers.
Was it a shot in the air, or was it targeted at anybody? Was it in the air?
I know they shot at us, but I don't think anybody was injured there. But definitely they shot tear gas canisters directly at us.
And they've not released Mr. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Lawyer Jimako, or his brother?
Not since I got on this phone call with you, but I'll find out and let you know.
All right. Thank you very much.